As the Nigerian Senate Monday begins screening of the first batch of 28 ministerial nominees of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu amidst opposition to some of the faces that made the list and concerns over possible breach of constitutional provision, we engage one of the vocal voices of the immediate past, critical of the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, among others. El-Rufai is a nominee for the ministerial position from Kaduna State. He our guest once represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District and is a non-political voice who recently voiced out his opposition to some of the choices made by Mr. President. He will also be analyzing the outcome of resolutions made by the ECOWAS heads of states and government on the military takeover in Niger Republic. With the threat of involving military action against the coupists, should they fail to return the country to democratic governance, we ask so many questions, including what are the implications of some of these actions? What will happen to Nigeria in the event there is outright war in Niger? And what happens to other neighbors? We have in the studio Senator Comrade Shehu Sani. As I said earlier, he once represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the Senate. Welcome to our program, distinguished.
Thank you for having me.
We are happy having you after such a long time.
Thank you.
All right, we're taking a short break, and when we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away. Sorry to use this word. Nigerians say you are notorious for commenting on virtually everything. When Senator Tinubu, President, released the first names, you used some adjectives. Said he has embraced some serpents and rewarded vultures. Who are the serpents and who are the vultures?
Thank you for having me in your program once again. Well, I have been in the field of activism for the most part of my life. And we were those who fought and struggled for democracy in this country. And my commentaries on national issues did not start from Tinubu administration or Obasanjo administration.
Certainly.
We have been in the scene right from the time of military era and to date. So having said that, specifically on your question, when President Tinubu took over office, there were great expectations that the new president will be a clean break from the past and that people he is going to bring into his government are men of honor, integrity, and that will be different from the ones we have had in the past, with a new vision on how to reset Nigeria to a prosperous future. Now, when the manifest of the ministerial list came out, I found out that it contains some categories of people. Well, for all good purposes, we can say there are credible people in that list.
Among the 28.
Among 28. We have seen the party,
Professor Pate.
Professor Pate from Bauchi State. One that has excelled in his areas of specialization in health. He is also globally acclaimed health professional. One that has to resign his well-paid job in Geneva to come back to serve his country. Now, that man is an asset to Nigeria. And then you have Dele Alake, who has been a man grounded in the media for so many years. And if he is going to be in information, he is very welcome. Anatu Musawa is he is a lawyer, a columnist, one that has always been in the news, on print media. So she is very well known. But the issue I raised was the fact that Tinubu is appointing people who betray others with the hope that they will be loyal to him. And that has to do with the likes of Wiki. Wiki was a PDP man. Okay.
He's still a PDP person, or you have chased him out?
He is a PDP man.
Oh.
He has worked for Tinubu against his party and against his candidate, and it's been rewarded. But what I know it very well is that it's like marrying a woman who has betrayed another husband, hoping that she'll be faithful to you.
Oh.
That is one side of it. So he has gotten his 30 pieces of silver with an appointment of a ministerial position, hopefully. But specifically, the one I'm interested in is the one that comes from my state. When I express my opinion, people will say it's because we have had a series of political battles and differences with him. But I will like whoever is watching this program,
yes,
even if it is Tinubu or his men or his supporters or his fans, whether you are from PDP, APC or Labour Party, whatever I said, if there is anyone that can dispute it, should be able to do it. I said
you
first,
are posing a challenge now.
Challenge to any person.
Okay.
My opposition to the nomination of Nasir El-Rufai is based on the following factors. First of all, if you are talking of appointing people based on integrity and honor, and then you said maybe like Ganduje is not qualified, and then you raise issues, alleged,
Tinubu did not say directly.
Yes, alleged corruption and whatever. And I said it very clearly, that there is a substantial case of EFCC hanging around Nasir El-Rufai.
EFCC case?
Yes, for the 32 billion naira federal government properties that were sold when he was an FCT minister, which the money was not accounted for. The case is there. Anybody can Google it. Justice Nyako has ruled that his trial should continue after office because it was his winning the election in 2015 that gave him the immunity not to be tried. So the case is there. If any person who is watching this, please can go and Google that.
To go, apart from Googling, maybe to go to, is it EFCC to ask them
to go
question,
or
to go to the court? Yeah, Federal High Court. Yes.
The case is there. His lawyer has challenged that EFCC cannot investigate the case, but now the ruling was that his investigation and trial can continue after his office. So for that is one. So this is not about Chief standing with Chief.
Okay.
Secondly, he has a track record as a public officer, as a minister, of instigating crisis between the president and vice president.
Allegedly?
When he was the FCT minister, he was the brain behind the crisis between Obasanjo and Atiku. And I said it, El-Rufai's presence in Tinubu's administration will be the seed of crisis between Tinubu and Shatima.
How do you arrive at this? And
yes.
How sure are you that he instigated the crisis between...
When you appoint an ambitious man into office, there is a target. And what I've said, I have never made prediction about El-Rufai and it came true. When I say El-Rufai will fight Buhari, people thought that it was my own joke. I said it more than 5 years ago. And it happened that he fought him at the end of the day. So let me not divert from that point.
All right.
Secondly, El-Rufai is a person whom if you appoint him into office, if you appoint him Ministry of Works, he's not going to remain a Minister of Works. If you appoint him to Ministry of Power, he will not remain power. If you appoint him to Ministry of Aviation, he will not restrict himself only to Ministry of Aviation.
How do you mean?
All right. My evidence on this is what happened under Obasanjo administration. El-Rufai fought Kema Chikwe, who was the Minister of Aviation. El-Rufai fought Adamu Bello, who was the Minister of Agri. If any one of them can dispute me that he has not fought them, they should come out and say it.
Wow.
You are watching. El-Rufai fought Yaele Ahmed.
Was the head of service and later SJ.
Yes. El-Rufai set Obasanjo against the National Assembly of Mantu, led by Mantu at that time. So he created
These
so much
serious allegations, distinguished
At the same time,
we'll try and get him to come on.
At the same time,
yes,
he got the FCTA board to be dissolved, and then he became a minister with a Minister of State, and he ran for 8 years, for 4 years as a minister, without any board. This is what happened. So I said it. El-Rufai in Tinubu's government, he will make sure that he create problems not only for Tinubu and Atiku, but for each of the ministers that is in those places. So I said it, that one aside. He is undeserving to be a minister. When you are a minister of a country, like Nigeria, you are a minister of a multicultural, multi-religious nation like ours. People who are supposed to occupy such ministerial position are people who will be fair, just, and objective to people who, irrespective of their ethnicity or religious affiliation or identity. 8 years of him serving in Kaduna.
Yeah.
No sane human being will say that this man here has been fair and just to people of southern part of Kaduna State. Even people in northern part of Kaduna State. Look at how he has destroyed their lives over the years. Now keep that issue. Now let's pick another thing. If there's any,
but I want you to clear this one on Kaduna because I had
let me talk you about Kaduna State now.
All right.
Let me clear it. 80% of the projects that are being executed by Kaduna State is done from the northern part of Kaduna. There is nothing. Even when you don't go to southern Kaduna, just cross River Kaduna.
Yeah.
Go to Sabon Tesha, go to Television, go to Angwon Palma, and compare development in that place with the ones you have inside Doka.
Which is central, right?
Which is central, yes.
Yeah, but
so you only need to go and see what happened. And then you look at, keep that one aside. Now, for the period which he served as a governor of Kaduna State, most of the people who were arrested and detained are people that come from southern part of Kaduna.
How do you mean the IMN members, are they from southern Kaduna?
Well, that is another injustice separately. If you want us to discuss that,
no,
I will also
really.
show you
really.
how crude, how destructive his government has been from the side of the IMN. So I'm just giving you a little, if not, we'll spend the whole day here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the last one I want to tell you is this. Now, if there's any individual in this country that has been known to habitually violate court orders consistently and has no respect for any court order, it is Nasiru. Can you identify and bring this man close to you? First of all, there are so many court orders in Kaduna State that this man refused to obey. Even when teachers were told to be returned back when they got judgment, he refused to. When permanent secretaries, which he has sacked, were told to be paid, he refused to pay them. When over land allocations, when ruling have been given that these issues are, a land is in contention, he allocates it all for other people to share it to other persons. So to me, I believe that a time has reached in this country. We are 220 million people.
Yeah.
Don't be like Buhari to appoint people because of your emotions over them or your passion or trying to settle them or trying to appease them. We have reached a point in this country today, a nation of 220 million people. Select the best, people who are untainted, people with fresh ideas, people who have new vision on how to move this country forward. What does a man who has been a minister under Obasanjo administration
20 years.
has anything to offer 20 years after under this administration? There is nothing.
Then who do you think he should pick? People like you, or he should go to the moon and get some people?
I'm not from the ruling party or government party.
But switching from the ruling party, I think it's about, you're talking about credibility, about pedigree and all.
Yeah, but even Wike is rewarded for working against his party. Wike was rewarded for working or not working for Atiku. Wike was rewarded for working for.
Should that be the yardstick for selection?
Well, that's what I say. And again, even from the point of working, did Nasiru El-Rufai work for Aswaju?
He did.
Okay, I have.
Or you want to challenge?
Yes, I'm going to challenge that.
Okay.
First of all,
go ahead.
And I wish Tinubu is
certainly
Tinubu is watching.
Certainly, they will draw his attention. Yeah.
Now, during the primary elections,
Yes.
I am not a founding member of PDP, but I'm a founding member of APC in Kaduna State.
Yes.
There is nobody in APC that I don't know. There is nobody in APC in Kaduna that don't know who I am. So I know each and every APC member in Kaduna State as long as he is someone that matters, and they all know me. During the primary elections, there was no categorical statement that they should go and vote for Tinubu, the delegates from Kaduna State.
He didn't give that.
Yes. I want everyone, well, we live in the world of internet. Please Google what El-Rufai said when Tinubu visited Kaduna and Google what he said when Amechi visited Kaduna. Please, no, don't hear it from me. Please Google. He made it very clear that Kaduna delegates are for Amechi. Read what he has said on these two issues.
But I think he changed his position.
Coming.
Yeah.
When they went to the primaries, who came first? Tinubu, right?
Yeah.
Who came second? Amechi.
Yeah.
How did Amechi got? Where did Amechi got the votes to be?
Maybe from Rivers and
can one
Plateau.
state only? Can one state only give him the vote? No. Amechi became the second runner-up because of votes from Kaduna delegates.
You mean during the presidential election, the Kaduna delegate did not vote for Tinubu?
Kaduna delegate, some voted for Tinubu, some voted for Amechi. And many voted for Amechi. That's why Amechi became second.
But don't you think that the governor actually allowed them to, their conscience to judge them?
Well, I thought that you said he will deliver his delegate to a candidate of Tinubu. Now you are saying he allowed. Now, keep the issue of primaries and let's come to general elections. During the general elections, APC couldn't deliver votes to Tinubu in Kaduna State.
It was like in many other northern states.
It was a PDP that won. Why did PDP win? PDP won for two reasons. First of all, Nasuru and his APC in Kaduna State did not fought and campaign for Tinubu to win. They are only interested in governorship election and his son who became House of Reps. That's all.
This is a serious allegation.
I don't, if anybody who wants to dispute me, the facts are on the ground.
And if he drags you to court, you will defend yourself.
Well, we have always been in court with him. I've been in court with him for 7 years now, so I'm not afraid of any court. In fact, I have been going to court in my life since when I was in my teenage days. So as far as I'm concerned, it's nothing. And I have been also to prison many times. Not people like him who run away when they are looking for him. We'll keep that aside.
Maybe you will be the record of Jonathan Riches, the one that has gone to court more than any other person.
Why did Tinubu lost Kaduna? Tinubu lost Kaduna because the APC in Kaduna did not campaign for him. Because it was not their interest. Their interest is the governorship.
But they also lost in Kano.
Hold on. Secondly. And the second aspect of it is that most of those who were in APC, who could have delivered vote for Tinubu, they camped to PDP. I am from the APC, I'm in PDP. Isa Ashu, the governorship candidate of Kaduna State, is from the APC. He moved to PDP. The likes of Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, and many people who are Salah, like Tijani Ramallah and co. So many people, men of respect and honor, were chased out of APC and they found so Tinubu now, if Tinubu as a sensible politician, he's supposed to ask question, how did I lost Kaduna? You lost Kaduna because people who will have delivered Kaduna to
But Senator, you know that he also lost Lagos. Can't you ask him question to also interrogate why he lost his home state? Meaning something must be wrong somewhere. Maybe there's ripple effect.
If you look at what happened in Lagos, well, he won the primaries in Lagos. All the delegates voted for him. But in Kaduna, even the delegates did not vote for him.
So there was actually
they were dividing their eggs. They call it putting their eggs in two baskets.
But that's just politics, right?
No.
Will you put all your eggs in one basket?
Yes.
You will lose out.
I'm a man of principle. If I focus on you, I move and then we move. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. I don't believe in that's hypocrisy. You are with Amechi and you are with Tinubu. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that is the case. So I'm just telling you, we are talking generally about him. not deserving to be. To me, if you're asking between Matawalli of Zamfara and Nasir El-Rufai, who's supposed to be a minister, I would say Matawalli, because Matawalli delivered Zamfara to Tinubu. He lost the governorship. This one lost the presidential and they win the governorship.
So it should have been, Tinubu should have considered Matawalli for risking his own interest to deliver.
Because he became president because people went out and voted and struggled for him to win election. If there's anybody in Kaduna, please come to tell me where in the 23 local governments, in the run-up to the presidential election, how many times did APC went house to house telling people to come and vote for Tinubu? How many?
Okay, now people like El-Rufai, it is believed that they are technocrats. They have something, they have value to add to governance, just the way he turned around Kaduna. The other issue you raised, that he didn't work in southern Kaduna, I saw him on television asking people in southern Kaduna to come and show him if there is any local government area that he doesn't have an imprint there. Now, do you think Tinubu stands to gain from his technocratic acumen in delivering services? Some said he will be given the power sector.
There is nothing technocratic about Nasir El-Rufai. All this idea of this person, don't we have technocrats in Kaduna State too, if that is the way you are talking about it? And how do you turn the fortunes of Kaduna? Let me give you, the statistics are very clear. Now, he presided over the affairs of Kaduna for 8 years. 80% of his own activity is within Kaduna North and part of Kaduna South. That is where he led. He left for us a debt profile of over $600 million.
$600 million?
$600 million, that is one. Secondly, they sold government properties that is up to today. They didn't come out with the list and tell us who and who are the beneficiaries of this state.
Just like what happened during his days as the FCT minister, you cited the EFCT.
I ask you again, they sold over 2,000 houses. And I want you to check anywhere. Please show me any part of Kaduna where Nasiru has built a housing estate for people.
But don't you think the ones he sold, he has empowered some people, civil servants?
No, even Zulum has been building estate houses.
Maybe because he has serious emergency. Communities have been destroyed. And all.
Do I'm telling you, show me anywhere in Kaduna where you have any estate built by Nasir El-Rufai. There is none. Rather, what has happened is that they seized the land that belongs to some people. They went into federal properties, federal lands, carving it out and sharing it to themselves. And
allegedly.
At the end of the day, this is where we find ourselves. Now, why people don't ask themselves? Kaduna is next to Kano. They are our neighbors.
Yeah.
Why don't Kano have banditry? Why don't they have kidnapping? Why is it only in Kaduna State?
Maybe Kaduna because it's in North Central.
We are not in North Central. We are not
West, of course.
We are not Western part of
but much closer to North Central. That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
Kaduna is much closer to North Central than Kano.
Invite any commissioner of police who has been in Kaduna State in the last 8 years and ask him, what support have they gotten from Kaduna State government as far as the issue of security in Kaduna State?
You mean he didn't support them?
He has not supported them. I will ask you this question. Everything is now in the internet. If I say Governor Makinde has donated 100 vehicles to security agencies, all you need is to Google search and then you see it.
Yeah.
If I say Hope Ozodimma has donated 50 vehicles, you will go and Google and see it. Please Google Nasiru and donation to security agencies and see what is there.
We'll Google it most likely before the end of this program.
So all these things here are all on the ground for people to see. Yeah. So it's not about me and him, though it is still about our issues, because I left the Senate in 2019.
Yeah.
And courtesy has it as a state governor. I'm not the first person whom a governor will remove from the Senate. Other governors have been doing it. But when they do it with honor. Once we remove you out of you replace with somebody, and then That's it. And then politics continue. I went out of the Senate in 2019. But for 4 years from 2019 to 2023, hardly a week goes by because he is protected by immunity without him coming publicly to insult me.
And you are now taking
and
his
this
power.
thing, yeah, and he made a statement that enmity with him is permanent.
Wow.
And unfortunately for him, he's already with a man who has started fighting before even they know the name of El-Rufai in Nigeria. Who knows El-Rufai before 1999? Nobody knows him. But we have been in the trenches. So he is now dealing with a man who is well prepared to take this war from now to the next 50 years or end of her life.
But I'm beginning to, I'm beginning to feel that this your fight, you are also extending it to Tinubu, the man you fought for democracy ahead of 1999.
I'm not fighting. Why should I fight Tinubu?
Okay, but it's like you are not satisfied with some of these people.
Yes, I have to criticize.
If you have your way, what will you tell him?
It does not mean that
you should drop some of these names and leave just the party you mentioned.
Let me be frank with you.
Yes.
Tinubu is one of the genuine progressives we have in the history of this country. One that have fought for democracy and sacrificed his life for democracy. When I first met him in the sitting room of Abiola, sometime in 1993, before the election and after during the struggle, I met him, Abiola introduced him, I said, this is Tinubu, this is Shehu Sani, and then from there I know him. And then we've been fighting for democracy. In 1999, I joined the Alliance for Democracy, so we are AD together.
Oh, yeah.
And he supported me to contest the Senate in 2003, but I lost.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? So I've been with him in the trenches and in the struggle for a very long time. That is why, unfortunately, the political equation in the country has reached a point that you ask yourself, there are people that you're supposed to have seen them with Tinubu. The like of Jerry Ghana, the like of Sule Lamido, people who are from that SDP crop, you're supposed to see them. But now, political equation is so muddled up that people who were genuine progressives are nowhere to be found.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So in that aspect, this one, I am not against him, but does not mean that my relationship will make me to keep quiet when I say things that are wrong. He promised to present credible, honorable Nigerians who will take over office in Nigeria today. And when I saw in that list, him rewarding people for betraying others, I say, if you think that you will get loyalty from someone who betrays another person, then you are just wasting your time. So that is why I send that tweet.
All right.
And continue to expect me, because when the issues come for me to criticize him, I'll criticize him.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'll criticize him without insulting him.
Yeah, with decorum.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But people who are good at insulting others are already in their ministerial list.
All right. Thank you very much, distinguished senator. We'll go on a short break.
Yes.
Viewers, don't go away. We'll be back shortly to continue the conversation with Senator Shehu Sani. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. Still have in the studio Senator Shehu Sani, who represented Kaduna Central in the Senate, and he's also a civil activist. Before we went on break, with that just issues around Senator Tinubu's ministers. Now, on the first day, you've seen the screening of some nominees. Are you satisfied with the approach by the Senate? Some were asked to take a bow, like Wiki. He was asked to take a bow and go. You know, another one, problems around his credentials, like the the nominee from Benue State, Professor Joseph Hussein. He said he was born in 1980, but finished primary school in 1989. But while some senators wanted to interrogate, he was asked to also go. This is, amid the claim by the Senate President that they are going to have a thorough scrutiny of the ministerial nominees.
Well, My own expectation or my thought was that this time around, ministerial nominees will be interrogated or screened from an informed position. That is, not just your portfolio should be, not just your credentials should be attached to you, but the president supposed to have attached what ministry is each and every one of them going to preside over. But unless you have that, he will just be rambling. If a man is brought before me, if you're going to be a minister of aviation, I know that I will come in with a set of questions on aviation, the challenges, the problems, the vision, and then I'll ask you on them. If you are going to be a minister of works or minister of health, I know what to ask you.
Yes.
But you send people to the National Assembly to be screened by politicians who are senators. And many of them have their own personal interests.
Yeah.
In the sense that either the nominees were their friends or their schoolmates, or they expect to be soft on them, so they don't know what will happen tomorrow. The nation is shortchanged. Look at how the British Parliament and the American Congress interrogate political appointees.
Yeah.
Can you compare it with what you see in Nigeria today?
Honestly.
A senator will stand up telling a nominee that I know you are my classmate,
yes.
I know you are my friend, and I know you have the capacity, the competence to deliver.
Excavating all the relationships.
And I believe that this man, and I'm calling on my colleagues to please let him take a bow and go. Is that why you are elected as a senator? Is that why? Go back and see how I interrogated Amechi when he came before us in the 8th Senate. The 8th Senate, there. I'm not singing our praises, but it remains one of the best Senate in the history of Nigeria. It's going to continue to be for some time now. For the fact that any person who is brought before us knew that you are before a National Assembly. Yeah. You are not before a classroom. You are not before your own subordinates. You are before the parliament of a country. And you are going to take over sensitive position for which will affect the lives of over 200 million people. The way the senators are screening, it's as if it has turned into a comedy. If you have a nominee, for example, someone or the person of Wiki.
Yeah.
What ministry are you going to take over? Okay, you want to take over Ministry of Works? Fine. Please, I have a question on this. These are the number of parastatals that are in Ministry of Works. Can you tell me that you have an abandoned project, Kano to Maiduguri road? We have East-West road that has not been completed. We have this and that. In a situation where we have limited funds, what can you do differently? These are the kind of question you don't start asking him that we were in the same party together and then we were in the same committee together. This is not how to screen. The screening going on in National Assembly is a joke.
Yeah, don't you think it was deliberate? Because when the Constitution was being reviewed, you know, to compel the president to submit list in 60 days, that they refused to put an article to say that the list should come alongside portfolio.
Yeah, but that is the issue. So, but even at that, the quality of interrogation is disgraceful and disappointing.
Yeah.
Please, I want you to look at the caliber of people who have at First Republic as parliamentarians. Just go back memory lane and see how a member of the parliament from all Midwest or Northeast, Borno State, or Sokoto State, how they speak, and you compare them with what we have today. So I'm saying that if you say this is screening, please, it should not be a place
for joke,
for praise singing. It should not be a place for applauding nominees. Should not be a place when a nominee is going out, you follow him and collect his number that have been solved to you. This is not a parliament. This is not supposed to be the behavior and ethics of a senator.
Okay, before we move to Niger Republic, I want your take, just brief, that what do you think Tinubu should do to amend some of the shortcomings in the first set, maybe since he has another list to submit to the National Assembly?
You see, Tinubu has a track record of bringing the best into government, but he was able to achieve that in Lagos. But I know Nigeria is bigger than Lagos.
Yeah.
And our complexity, our problems and challenges are far bigger. So my own expectation of him is that, looking at the time he has spent in politics and the time it has taken for him to be where he is today, he should be guided simply by competence.
All right.
Buhari made a tragic mistake, appointing people into office and keeping them for 8 years. Never in the history of Nigeria has people been appointed into office and been given a blank check for 8 years without any serious cabinet reshuffle, without any sacking and replacing ministers. It only happened under Buhari.
Maybe only also during Gowon, where he had super permanent secretaries.
No, that is secretaries.
Yeah.
I'm talking of appointment as ministers. Can you imagine under Buhari administration where a man will complete his tenure in office and they will extend it by 2 years? And when the 2 years reach, extend it by 6 months. And when the 6 months reaches, they will extend it by 2 weeks or 1 week. Now, this is how he ran a government.
Like the immigration boss.
So, for Tinubu, the task before him as a leader is to do something differently from what other Nigerian leaders have done.
Okay, we hope he does that. Yes. Let's move to Niger. I saw your post. You gave some 13 points, I think, that Nigeria must look at critically so as not to fall into a booby trap of sorts. But in the last 3 years, we have 6 countries down to the hands of coupists: Sudan, Chad, Niger Republic, Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. Why are you pessimistic about Nigeria's approach to the crisis in Niger?
First of all, when you see a democratic government crashed, the crashing is not from outside of the country. It is something that is a product of the problems within the country.
Okay.
Mali crashed, then Guinea, then Burkina Faso. We have Chad, Sudan, and then Niger now.
Yes.
If you have good governance and genuine democracy, it's going to be difficult for people, for army to pick up arms and overthrow governments.
It's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely. Look at the situation. Most of those states where military have taken over, you will see there is a problem of election rigging.
Yeah.
There's a problem of poverty. There's a problem of insecurity. There's a problem of widening gap between the rich and the poor. There's a problem of people don't want anyone to win election, only they themselves and the ruling party dominance. For example, now, in the Central African Republic, the president has initiated a referendum to give him the opportunity to contest for third term.
Just as we have in the other countries.
And the AU is silent, and the international community are silent. Now, you allow him to
extend himself,
and then when military comes, you condemn military takeover, and then you demand for restoration of democracy. But when democracy is decaying, when democracy is gradually collapsing, that is when leaders from outside of the country need to tell the leaders the truth, but they don't. In the case of Niger, I tweeted that 13 points on the basis of the resolution which I've seen. People are saying that because the military led by General Abdurrahman Chani has taken over power, and as such, all options should be open, including the use of military. And I said, first of all, I condemned the military takeover in Niger Republic on the basis that as a Democrat, I will not see myself aligning myself with the military regime. But secondly, I look at this point. There was no military action against Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea.
Yeah.
So why should we use the military against the Niger coupists? One. Secondly, Nigeria shares a very long border
from Sokoto to Maiduguri.
To Maiduguri.
Yes, that's Borno
Any
State.
war declared by ECOWAS against Niger Republic military junta is simply a war between Nigeria and Niger. That is one. Second,
why is it? Is it that you think other countries will not really mobilize per se? Is Nigeria that?
Well, I will give you an example. In the 90s, we had ECOMOG, but it's Nigeria that was fighting. Yeah, and the current budget of ECOWAS is Nigeria that is footing about 75% of the bill. So if we declare a war against Niger Republic, it's simply a war between Nigeria and Niger Republic,
which will be devastating.
Yes, and then another point I have seen here is that in the event of a military incursion into Niger Republic, what I know is that forces from Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso will come to the aid of Niger.
What, the coupists in Niger?
Yes. They're going to aid Niger. And Russia and Wagner will all be there in defense of Niger.
The private contractors,
yes.
That is Wagner, yeah.
Will you now tell me that you want to go into Niger with an ECOWAS force relying on the support from Western world when their all attention is in Ukraine?
But US, Germany, and others, they say they are in support of what ECOWAS is about to do. You think they will withdraw midway? Look
at what's happening in Saudi Arabia. Were they not in the support of Saudi Arabia to go into Yemen? What happened? Saudi Arabia was footing the bill.
Up till tomorrow.
In ECOWAS, ECOMOG, when we went into Sierra Leone and Liberia,
yes,
we were given all assurance that the West will support us. Nigeria spent over $7 billion of its own hard-earned money and lost over 1,000 of its own soldiers, and nothing came out of it. So don't get yourself bogged into a war that you will end up trying to find a place. Another point which I have raised is that Niger Republic, 80% of people who live in the core north are by bloodline related to people from Niger Republic.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all.
If you go to GBI,
yes.
If you go to Congo,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have one or two relations there.
Certainly.
Now, if you make the mistake of launching a war, all the states that are within that border are all going to pay for it. We have over 303,000 refugees from Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Yobe, Borno State that have been sacked from their home by ISWAP and Boko Haram and are now in Niger Republic. In the event of war, that country will expel them back to Nigeria. What provisions have we had?
Maybe we will have more who are Nigerians yes. coming to Nigeria.
Yeah. Another point is that Niger has been very helpful in our war against terrorists. Yes. So what will become of that war? It's not easy to fight a country, to go into a country that has a landmass larger than the size of Nigeria. We will be left stranded and we will lose our money to fight that war. We shouldn't cry more than the bereaved. There is no Nigerian interest in Niger that deserves the lives of our soldiers to go there.
So if you are to meet Tinubu, what will you tell him? How, as ECOWAS chairman and as president of Nigeria, how should he approach the Nigerian?
How he's going to approach it is that dialogue should continue with the military junta. That's a fact of the matter. We are the ones who fought our own military. I went to jail fighting the military. We suffered. We didn't ask America to invade Nigeria and remove Abacha or Babangida. But we fought, and the military later handled. If the people of Niger don't want the military regime, they should continue to protest. And if they want the military, let them test it and see how it is. Later, senses will come back to their head that these people are not messiahs. So it is to support the people of Niger to change their government if they want to change, but not for us to go and die.
How can Nigeria immune itself? Because when I saw our online team, they did a kind of infographic, of course, on the map of Nigeria. It showed all these countries I mentioned earlier, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Chad, Niger, almost 6 of them. When you check, It's like a ripple effect from country A to B, C, D, E. I was really shocked when I saw that. How can Nigeria immune itself from these tendencies? Because you earlier mentioned some of the variables that, force the military to experiment.
Well, from what we have seen now, the military coup in West Africa has become contagious.
Aha.
Yes, and at the same time infectious. But having said that, if you want to immune yourself from military coup, it's not about sending troops to go and overthrow the military junta of another country. There are a number of things you need to do.
Okay.
First of all, address the security challenges in your country.
Which we have in Nigeria.
Yes.
In abundance.
Do that. That is first. Secondly, address the problems of poverty and hunger in your country, which will not give any military adventurers the reason to take over government. Thirdly, let there be a genuine democratic governance and government founded on the rule of law and social justice. If you rig elections, you are creating a ground for military coup. It happened in 1983 in Nigeria. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So have credible election, address security challenges in your country, address the problem of poverty, run an all-inclusive government, let people breathe.
Just like Tinubu did by bringing Wike.
Yes.
Maybe it's a government of national unity what he did. To bring people from the opposition.
Well, I don't know.
Not to distract what you are saying.
I don't know about that. But what I'm just saying is that address the problem of social injustice and iniquity, address insecurity problem, address the issue of democracy as it is, and then we'll have good governance, you will be protected. But no matter what you try to do, if those things are not being addressed, you are not very far from military incursion. Because the military now are subordinate to the political class, the civilian authority, right? But they are human beings.
Yeah.
They are watching. They are your brothers, they are your sisters, they are your sisters, they are your uncles, they are your fathers, they are your mothers, the military. And from the political side, as ambitious as we used to be, to remove someone from his position and then you take over, we should know that for the first time since our 23 years of democracy in Nigeria, this is the time to which the government must be very serious about addressing our internal problem, since the coup spectra has already started coming close to our borders.
Yeah.
You understand? We must be very, very serious about addressing those very factors that led to the overthrow of those governments.
Then how do we address, most likely, finally, is it encroachment by superpowers? Because point 5 of your advisory, you said, why did the America and French military bases inside Niger Republic refuse to stop the coup, and now they are encouraging us to go to war?
Well, I read about the presence of American military base in Niger, and the French have also been there. When they were sent away from Mali, they moved to Niger Republic. And to me, if those bases couldn't protect the constitutional authority, democratic government there, then questions need to be asked. Are we the ones to lay our lives trying to restore constitutional order? Nigeria is not like Gambia under Yahya Jammeh, where you fly to attack helicopters and fighter jets over his head and then he will run away. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And the times have also changed. The military governments in Mali, in Guinea, in Burkina Faso will naturally come to the aid of Niger military coupists. And it's going to be a devastating blow for Nigeria.
Exactly.
As far as Nigeria is concerned, don't go beyond dialogue.
All right.
And encourage the people of Niger Republic to take their destiny into their hands.
All right.
We, Niger and Nigeria, we are one.
Yeah.
We are the same people. We are Africans. We are brothers and sisters.
Yes.
If anything has happened in that country,
it has happened in Nigeria.
It has happened in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank
please
you.
don't take our military to that desert.
All right, thank you very much, distinguished Senator Shosani, for coming to the program and for your informed perspective. And that's a wrap on today's edition. But before we go, make sure you sharpen your questions ahead of Friday, when we will open our lines to allow you to ask questions and contribute to burning national issues. For now, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.